Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. It's cool to use the computer. Don't let the computer use you. You all saw The Matrix. There's a war going on. The battlefield's in the mind. The prize is the soul.
Oh,
Hey,
yo,
what
yo,
up?
yo.
What's up, y'all? I
What
think we need
up?
I think we need the mystery music for this one, bro.
We damn sure do.
It's crazy. Yo,
Yeah,
this
man, we got a hot show for y'all, man. Y'all don't see the conspiracy. We about to wake y'all up to it because not enough
yeah,
people talking about how this is going down. This R. Kelly stuff,
yeah,
and then
man.
got Tory Lanez and then Diddy. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It seemed like a big plot to take these brothers down
Yeah,
and
I
put them
think
under.
yeah. Oh yeah, put them under. Yeah, I think it's going that far. It's going that far. So we got R. Kelly, man. We got R. Kelly sending a message from jail that they in there trying to put him down, man.
The feds.
He said the feds trying to put him
Feds,
down.
the feds is trying to take him down. You know what I'm saying? Just like they want to take Diddy down, just like the feds, Tory Lanez down. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, R. Kelly's catalog is worth a lot of money. Because you got to remember his catalog got Michael Jackson stuff up in there too, like and almost every R&B artist or you know what I mean pop star he wrote for. His catalog is big, bro.
Yeah.
His catalog's in the billions. So Mr. R. Kelly,
No telling what other information he might know from being in the industry. That's another
oh
thing
yeah,
that they fear, like people knowing too much,
him knowing too
and
much.
and being blacklisted like that. You know what I'm saying? And then being thrown in jail, and he knows it's a conspiracy plot against him because of his catalog and because you know what I mean the information he know.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, he's definitely a target. He's a target. I think anybody like you see Smokey Robinson being targeted right now. I
Right,
think anybody that's part of that upper echelon in the industry is targets, and I'm not just talking about black folk. You see,
right.
they going after everybody that's in position. You see that everybody slowly coming out in the media, names getting thrown in there. Now it's to the point they getting death threats. Like Tory Lanez, man, he just got stabbed up 17 times.
Yeah, 17 times. Yeah, that's going to show y'all how serious this is.
Y'all think that's by coincidence?
Nah,
Tory Lanez getting stabbed up 17 times on a, when they find out that he's innocent. When it comes out that he's innocent, nah.
and it can easily get you touched in prison. That's easy. That's the easiest. You know what I mean? They can always find somebody who ain't got nothing to lose, and they offer them just a little something, and they willing to do that because they do it anyway. The people that they pay to do this stuff, and the thing is, it don't just be the. This goes to show you that the industry works with the feds.
Yeah, what
It
Cat
just
Williams said.
shows you that.
Yeah, that interview he did a few months back. That's what he said. He said a lot of these artists work with the feds
Yeah,
closely, and then we have seen things come out about artists working with the feds. You know what I
and they
mean?
ain't
So
doing things legally by the book when we say they working with the feds. They doing illegal things, off the record, black operation type of things that they doing with these people from the industry. It ain't just like, oh yeah, they trying to do a sting operation, by the book and getting all the right, clearances and stuff that they need to pull that off. Nah, they doing stuff that's illegal.
yeah,
Paying
they
prisoners off to take people out and all that type of stuff.
yeah, Art, they. I believe R. Kelly because you really never heard R. Kelly talk like that. I mean, you heard him say it on Gail show, like y'all trying to kill me, man. I gave y'all 30 years of my life, and y'all trying to kill me. We knew who he was talking about because he wasn't talking about just fans. He talking about the industry. Because why would he tell fans, I gave y'all 30 years of my life and y'all trying to kill me? It wouldn't. Why would the fans be trying to kill? It's the industry. So that was like signs of that early on. And he mentioned something about his catalog. You know, they wanted his catalog. But now he's in fear for his life. He's saying they making plot attempts, you know, and they're trying to plot to take him out by using the Aryan Brotherhood in there. You know who that is? That's the skinheads with the, you know, with the swastikas, tattoos, and all that shit. But we're gonna get into it, man. So R. Kelly attorney accuses feds. Now, why would R. Kelly attorney accuse feds of plotting to kill him?
Right.
Obviously, they heard something. Word got back to them. You know what I'm saying?
So R. Kelly's legal saga has taken a dramatic turn as his attorneys filed an emergency motion for his release from prison, claiming a sinister plot to murder him, orchestrated by prison officials. The controversial R&B singer, who is serving a 30-year sentence at the Federal Correctional Institution in Butner, North Carolina, found his life allegedly threatened by a murder scheme backed by government officials. Central to his explosive claim and affidavit from an inmate, Michael Glenn Stein. According to Stein, prison authorities solicited him, offering freedom in exchange for assassinating Kelly, allegedly as part of a broader effort to conceal constitutional violations linked to Kelly's legal battles. The emergency motion, so they saying is the reason why they want to take him out because they violated R. Kelly's constitutional rights, and it's blatant that they did, and they want to take him out on that alone. But we know it's also about that catalog. The emergency motion submitted by Kelly's legal team cites these threats as severe and ongoing danger to the singer's life, urging immediate transfer to home detention to ensure his safety. Details of the alleged plot come amid Kelly's extensive legal issues. Convicted in 2021 for multiple charges related to sexual exploitation and abuse of minors, his sentence is consolidated 30 years for sex trafficking in New York, with 20 years from a Chicago conviction running concurrently. Despite these convictions, Kelly's lawyers argue his continued imprisonment under such circumstances amounts to cruel and unusual punishment, violating his Eighth Amendment rights. Stein, known for his affiliations with the Aryan Brotherhood, claimed that he was approached by 3 senior officers from the Bureau of Prisons with a plan to murder Kelly. Stein asserts that he was offered an opportunity to evade incarceration in his final days, leveraging his terminal cancer diagnosis to commit the act. Instead of complying, Stein reportedly had changed of heart, informed Kelly of the plot, and now claims his own safety is compromised for revealing the scheme. This turn of events leads Kelly's lead defense attorney, Buell Brindley, to suggest government manipulation to suppress evidence and maintain substantial misconduct under wraps. This multifaceted case continues to grab headlines not just for its serious nature, but also because it intertwines with broader narratives, alleged systemic failures, and possible corruption within the penal system. Kelly's legal team contends that communications between Kelly and his legal team were unethically intercepted and possibly used to coerce false testimony against him. These alleged acts of misconduct stand at the core of their argument for imminent release, barring adequate safety measures being enacted within the prison system. Furthermore, Kelly's attorneys have taken an outlier approach by directly appealing to former President Donald Trump for intervention, citing his history of confronting similar types of institutional corruption. Although Trump is yet to publicly respond, the defense believe his influence may pivotally sway the decision for unprecedented release. I don't think Trump is going to do anything about it.
Yeah, Trump ain't doing nothing about that, bro.
So it seems like they tried to hire this dude from the Aryan Nation who got cancer, who ain't really got nothing else to live for, that promised him that his final days that they let him out free. You know what I'm saying? If he takes Kelly out.
Wow.
Which is wild.
Dang.
Now nobody would just come forward and say something like that and it not be true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta think about it. This Stein guy, even though he got cancer, he's still putting his life in danger by even talking like that.
Right.
So nobody's gonna lie about nothing like that. So we see right here the type of corruption that's surrounding a lot of these celebrities who get locked up. So if you assume this is going on with R. Kelly, and R.
Imagine,
Kelly's case is very similar to Diddy's.
yeah, I was about to say, imagine what's
Yeah, I mean it's
going on the Diddy
identical.
case.
Yeah, it's identical. Like the R. Kelly case and the Diddy case. So it's possibility Diddy could get life in prison, even if it's not no substantial evidence of any of this stuff
Look at
that they
Tory
claim.
Lanez.
Yeah, exactly.
He did 10. He doing 10 on the and there was no substantial evidence,
Exactly.
no gunpowder, no fingerprints on the gun, nothing. I mean, just word of mouth and him basically wanting to take the rap for Kelsey, because I guess he didn't want to look like a snitch, like he was snitching on a woman. So he just took, you know what I mean?
And they got him stabbed up 17 times.
Yeah, right before, like, when it came out that he was innocent, when the bodyguard came forward saying Kelsey the one that fired that gun. And now look.
Now we ain't saying that Diddy is 100% innocent or guilty. We don't know because we haven't really seen anything yet. You know what I'm saying? That's going to stick as far as with the trafficking and the other stuff that they trying to get him for. But you can easily see there's some type of conspiracy to take these people down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same pattern. Like, you can't even deny it. So you got people that's just so focused on wanting to see a black man in jail. Like, we're not looking at the conspiracy behind what's happening and the patterns. They doing the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, now R. Kelly feel like he's scared for his life that the feds is actually trying to orchestrate something to take him out. We just seen Tory Lanez get stabbed up.
Yeah, about Mexican gang member.
Exactly. So it's safe to assume that Diddy could end up having the same fate.
Yeah,
that's why we were saying even if he did, get out. You know what I'm saying? His life will still be in danger.
Yeah,
matter of fact, his life would be in danger even more if he happened to beat that case.
Yeah, people ain't looking at it that way either. We know he pissed off some very important people, man. Being as though they let him operate for 30 years, doing the things they say he was doing, and they finally want to step in and bust him and prosecute him and all that. Why they ain't do that years ago?
Identical. Same thing you can say about R. Kelly. They seen the tape with R. Kelly, urinating on that young lady 30 years before they actually shipped him off to jail. And that's not even what he went to jail for that tape. So they did the same thing with Diddy. You know what I'm saying?
They really want them bad when they prosecute one man RICO. They want them bad. They never prosecuted any of the mob bosses. One man RICO. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly. What is a one man RICO?
Exactly.
I thought the RICO was the whole point of that was organization. Something that's because nobody around R. Kelly went to jail. Only R. Kelly went to jail, but they said it was a RICO. How is that even a RICO? Like, if it was a RICO, that means some of them parents who allowed their kids to be, and R. Kelly's, whatever they said he was doing, that little sex ring or whatever, the parents and whoever else, his assistants, parents, they should have been caught up in the RICO too and got some type of time. Maybe not as much time as R. Kelly, but something. So how was that even a RICO?
Right.
And the thing is, with the Diddy case, if we talking RICO, I mean, wouldn't Cassie and all them be tied up in that too? Because it seemed like Cassie and them was arranging some of that stuff that went on too.
It's proven fact.
And it's text messages of them asking when we gonna have some more free calls.
Proven fact.
Yeah, so and how is the freak off illegal? If anything, all right, if he was getting male prostitutes and states where it was illegal, that means the prostitute, the Punisher, and all of them should be under the RICO.
Right. Exactly.
So I don't understand. Do you understand? Like, how is that even a RICO, and how is he the only one in trouble? And if they getting them based off the prostitute thing, the prostitutes don't get in trouble. Like the prostitutes, they accepted the money. They accepted the money to do sexual acts in a state where it's illegal.
Not only that, the testimony of the witnesses saying they helped him, set up some things, especially that Capricorn Clark. Her testimony is just all. I don't even know why they wouldn't even excuse that from the record, because she asked for that. She asked for that job.
Right.
After the kidnapping and life threatening, she asked for a job. I don't understand why she ain't, but I understand what the feds is doing. The feds have something on these people, and they basically giving immunity to testify against Puff. They being given immunity to testify against him. Because these
that
people
goes to show you that's the plot against
him.
Yeah,
like some of these people that's testifying was a part of setting up the freak-offs. They was his assistants. They were Puff assistants. So a lot of the stuff he was doing, they knew about it because they was helping him.
Same thing with R. Kelly.
Same thing with R. Kelly.
That's how you know they ain't letting Diddy out of jail.
R. Kelly had assistants. He's not going to pick these girls up and none of that. It's either he got people scooping them up or the parents is dropping them off. Or the parents was dropping them off.
And you know the crazy thing about this? A lot of other celebrities are currently doing the same thing. They probably more cautious now. They probably scared to do it, but they've been doing it.
Oh, you about to see a lot more.
A lot of these entertainers move the same way.
I mean, we just seen them throw it at Smokey, bro.
Right.
The 80-something-year-old Smokey, Motown.
And as far as the prostitution thing, it's legal in a lot of places. I mean, if you're a celebrity with bread, you could do the whole prostitution thing legally.
Yeah, you can. Vegas,
you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of places where you could, like, in the world where they could do that stuff legally. Most of them fly private. They got the money. They got the resource. You know what I mean? They got the connections. Yeah. So I don't even understand any. Like, none of this is even. Like, where's the real crimes that Diddy supposedly committed? I heard. What about the minors and all that stuff? You don't hear nothing about that. That was just rumored.
That's what we waiting on. Like, I thought he had children.
Right.
I ain't heard any of the witnesses mention anything about children yet.
Nope, and they ain't, because most of the witnesses are tied into doing the same things that Diddy was doing.
Then they say it was children involved. Where's the we waiting on that too. That haven't came out, and could nobody mention anything about children in none of these testimonies.
Because that's because they would be an accessory. Think about it. Think about that.
Or maybe just wasn't children, it wasn't none at all.
There you go. Or it could have been none at all.
We don't know. We don't.
Been rumors.
Yeah, because we don't know unless there's evidence. We wouldn't know. People can put out rumors all day, but until we see evidence, we don't really know.
Then we ain't saying that there wasn't or there was. We saying we don't know. So
we don't know.
Don't come at us like, oh, y'all just trying to defend a pedophile. No, we not, because we don't know. Yeah.
And you don't know.
It's facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. Like, we don't know unless the evidence is being presented. If the feds had children stuff on him, he'd be got. Y'all know that. He'd be got.
That would have been the first thing that they bring up.
Yeah, like if he had some pedo things on, he'd have been got. But he ain't even facing no pedophile charges or nothing.
Nope.
So they ain't there for that. So
now that's the difference between him and R. Kelly.
Yeah.
R. Kelly is getting he got his time from messing with minors.
Mhm.
Majority of his time came from messing with those minors.
Yeah.
Which the parents had a lot to do with that too. So they should be in jail right along with them, because a lot of those parents was all for it because they was getting that money and that lifestyle through their kids messing with R. Kelly. And probably some of the parents was even messing with R. Kelly.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't put it past them. And the thing is, a lot of that is going on not just in the entertainment world, but in the world period, but definitely in entertainment world. There's a lot of celebrities who live those types of lifestyles.
Right, Sabrina Harley, thanks for the membership. Definitely appreciate you. Yeah, that's what we're waiting to see the mic. That's what we're waiting on. But he ain't in it. He ain't being prosecuted for that. So there's no minors to even be, for them to even have a testimony against him for any minors, because now there's been coming out stuff that came out in like little documentaries and people did but I think a lot of the women that was on there was just trying to get a story, just trying to get seen. Because there's a lot of BS surrounding this stuff too. A lot of the a lot of the lawsuits. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them lawsuits was just money grabs.
Yep.
So
money grabs and clout grabs. Because if you put a lawsuit against Diddy and your name is in the articles, you can get money, and you can write a book and get more money. Because those types of books take off.
Yep, or you could charge people for interviews.
Yep, and charge people for interviews. Facts. And people was able to make a living off of that. So we ain't taking all this into consideration. Not saying that Diddy's innocent or R. Kelly's innocent or whatever. Tory Lanez is innocent. Tory Lanez is actually the one that is innocent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I still believe he never shot that gun.
He took the rap for Kelsey, basically.
He took the rap for Kelsey for sure.
And got played at the end.
A real dude and got played at the Yeah. Being too real get you played.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Being too real to get you played in this world. For real.
Yeah. Right.
He took the rap. Now look at him. Stabbed up and doing 10 years in prison.
Yep.
That's insanity. That's insanity, bro.
Yep.
And this Diddy trial, man, this shit it's a circus, y'all. I don't believe it. I don't believe a lot of the stuff that's being said in this Diddy trial, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chick saying she got hung off the balcony and all, and that story ain't even adding up.
Yeah, that was I believe that was false, bro.
Yeah, this is just a lot of fake. Yeah.
I told you the feds, man. The feds is trying to do a number on these witnesses as far as them going in there and testifying. They being coerced with the say by the feds.
You seen that BET Awards, Kevin Hart making those jokes about slippery after parties and all that? You see a lot of those celebrities in that crowd. A lot of those celebrities in that crowd look very uncomfortable with him telling those jokes.
What he was pertaining to Diddy?
Yep.
Baby
but
oil
indirectly.
See, they wouldn't be doing all that if Diddy was out.
Exactly.
They wouldn't be playing around like that with the boy if he was out. But I understand the protocol though. You know, he's on the out now, so it's open season on him when he's on the out. So comedians. I mean, that's what comedians do. So I ain't gonna take away from that. That's what comedians do. They make these type of jokes when things like this happen.
Parties too. That's
we seen him. He was at the party where the woman hair caught on fire in the hot tub.
Facts.
When Diddy had a dilsey on the bed, he came in there and was like, "I'm not sitting on that bed."
Right.
Well, Usher came up in there saying they used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes. Yeah, where Usher at? Usher be chilling. He ain't mentioning nothing about none of this. I don't even think anybody even asked him about his homeboy Diddy, his mentor.
They need to let Tory out of jail immediately. And
I
I feel
believe
like
so.
Diddy trials should be a mistrial. R. Kelly, I don't know about him.
Yeah, he gonna have to figure it out.
I
Kel's
can't
gotta
really
figure it
say
out.
much about Kells.
Right. Kel's gotta figure that out. He better go ahead and get with boy from South. He a man, Buddha. He a man. You recognize the man standing here, Buddha. 15 boxes. He got the Aryan Nation there and there asked for 15 boxes of cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? He better go ahead and get the ball for. Yeah, he better get ball with the kufi. Protect him in there. Something.
I mean, it's crazy that they trying to take him out, but they ain't gonna let him go home just because the Fed's trying to take him out.
Yeah, that ain't gonna.
That ain't happening.
Yeah,
they ain't not be like, oh yeah, the Fed's trying to take you out. Now we gonna let you go home. That ain't happening.
They would have to actually have substantial evidence.
I mean, the dude testimony should be enough. The inmate Stein, the inmate who actually they tried to get to do it, because who would just make something like that up?
I don't know though.
He ain't got nothing to lose. Why would he make that up?
Yeah, but they still ain't gonna let him out unless he got substantial evidence. And
I think that should be enough evidence.
He might end up getting taken out. You'll hear about Stein, dude.
Oh, well, Stein said that his life was in danger in the article.
Yeah, like
he felt like his life was in danger.
Yeah, for the simple fact he put that out there.
That he put that out there.
Yeah, he going. But I don't think he cared because he on his way out anyway.
Right.
On the other hand, R. Kelly, I don't know what he gonna do. They ain't gonna let him up out of there based on that.
Nah, they ain't letting him out. To be honest with you, the Tory Lanez case, Megan should be in there and Kelsey.
Yeah,
they need to be in there for lying.
Yeah, I feel like they need to be.
It need to be
held,
something.
Yeah, they need to be held accountable.
Facts.
For letting him go down and take the rap. Woman, you stepped on the bottle. Matter of fact, we might have to spin the block and do a live and pull up his website where he got all that evidence on there. The body cam footage, her getting out the car and stepping directly on the bottle, bro.
And that's what that looked like.
The camera actually showed her opening the door, stepping out and step right on the bottle, bro. Broken glass.
But that's what that actually looked like. It didn't look like no gun wound, like the photos of her foot.
Yeah.
That didn't look like a bullet wound. That looked like a deep gash.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, it's wild, bro. It's wild out here, man.
Her big feet ass was twerking like a week later at DJ Khaled house.
And you ain't doing that. You ain't doing no twerking with after getting shot a week later.
Dipping with your knees and all that with a bullet in your bullet. I mean, like, come on, man. You ain't doing that big feet.
Big feet.
They wrong for that shit, bro. Like, I mean, I guess Tory ain't want to look like no snitch, but man, they did you wrong at the end, bro.
Man, he should have been
like, you almost just lost your life. Like, you 17 times stabbed up. Like,
he go from being one of the top independent selling artists, career going great, to end up in prison for 10 years and getting stabbed up for a crime he didn't even commit. That's wild to me.
All because of Flintstone feet.
Flintstone feet. Bigfoot.
All because of Bigfoot, bro. Yo, she really lost a lot of credibility. People really don't like her. A lot of women do not like her. Like, I'm seeing it around. They don't like Megan. They seeing how she is and how she moves. They
Oh, how
don't
she
like
played a victim role?
how she played that Vic, and then she lied. She lied a bunch of times. Like her story changed, but then she lied right to Gail face and said she ain't sleep with that nigga. Gail King should, you know what I mean, on the strength of that alone, Gail King should be coming out like, man, Megan,
Oh, Gail King,
she right.
Jail King. Nah, bro, you know Jail King. She loves seeing kings locked up. It's
Gail
Jail
King.
King. You do an interview with Gail, you going to jail, King.
He said, hey, Gail King.
They love seeing
This
Negroes
nigga
locked
say,
up.
yeah, yabba dabba do feed ass
Yeah,
man.
but do feed.
I said, like,
Yeah, but do feed.
custom shoes wearing ass, like she was lied. Yo, she a straight liar. She lied, man. She a straight liar, bro.
Yeah, and I feel like there's people lying on Diddy too.
All right. Now I feel like Kel served some time, but that old we got like 60 years or 30.
Yeah, I think it's 30. Yup, he got. It might as well be 60 years.
Yeah,
considering his age.
Yeah, I don't really think he should be doing 30.
Nah, hell nah.
He should be doing something, but
not 30.
Not 30. Yeah,
not 30.
They doing a little bit too much. Yeah, I don't think he should be doing 30 years.
Hell nah.
But he should serve some time, but not 30.
That's crazy, bro. 30 years. R. Kelly, 30 years.
I tell you what, Tory Lanez need to sue the hell out the state. When he get free, he need to sue the hell out of them.
Bro, how he say he gave them 30 years of his life and then they ended up giving him 30 years?
Yeah, they gave him 30 to life, bro.
How wild is that? Y'all can see y'all have to see this. Y'all have to see these patterns.
It was crazy. He wrote the song Life.
Exactly.
Life.
And he ended up being the very embodiment of that song.
Yeah.
That's insane to me, bro.
Just like Diddy lyrics. All his lyrics. All Diddy lyrics came back to on him.
Diddy did it.
And them Jones, he ain't even write none of them Jones. That's crazy.
You gotta be careful with these lyrics out here.
Like Jay wrote that for him. The Diddy did it, John. He wrote that verse. Shootouts, coastal beefs. Your Diddy did it. Like he wrote that, performed with him on stage. Jay backed him up on the ad libs while he was performing it.
Tupac hits. Your Diddy did it. Kim, Kim and Tupac hits. Your Diddy did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might as well just went all the way in.
All right.
That's wild though, man. I don't know, man. This is some crazy stuff.
Yeah, 50 wrote the I Get Money remix verse. Jay wrote the part where the Diddy did it part. He wrote that and some more of the verse. They kind of collabed on Diddy verse. But then Mark Curry wrote the PE #1, where he said on there, "Oh, you suckers, liars, court testifiers, trying to take it down to break my empire." Yeah.
Pretty much came to life.
Yeah, pretty much wrote himself into a jail. Well, they wrote him into a jail. Yeah, free Tory Lanez, man. I ain't never say that before, but I'm saying it now. Free Tory Lanez. All that substantial evidence, and she laying up in there like, bro, we gotta do a live stream on that. Like, she interviewing with the police, laying up there lying in the hospital bed. Big feet. Mega Man.
And you see, in our community, a majority of people love just seeing us destroyed.
Right.
Like
in
people
jail,
just want to see us
dead.
destroyed. Period.
Right.
Our own community just
Own
want to
kind.
see, want to see us destroyed. They love it.
Right.
They love it.
Dead, jail,
Yup.
whatever I got to do to. No, especially when you're successful though.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't be successful. Oh, nigga, who gave you the right to be successful, nigga?
Facts. While we out here suffering, you successful. We
Right.
want to see you suffer right along with us.
Right. We want your bank account empty. We want you dead and in jail if you successful.
Damn, dead and in jail.
Dead.
Hey. They want your corpse in the jail cell. They want your bank accounts empty, your corpse
Dead
inside
and
of dead. Inside of a jail cell. Lifeless.
Right.
They want your
Dead
lifeless corpse.
and in
And they
hell.
still ain't gonna be happy.
What you did?
Why they put his corpse on the bed? Why they wasting the bed on him? Put his body on the floor.
They want you dead, in jail, and in hell. It's crazy, bro.
Yo, that's mental. You could tell our community.
They did a number
on us.
Yeah, they did a number on our community. Broke us down to the point. Community suffer from identity crisis, low self-esteem, insecurities, and inferiority complex. Like you said, you do your brother wrong when you go to that job. That white man tell you what to do. You go up in that joint, do what he tell you. You know what I mean? You go home. You know what I mean? Husband asks you to do something, you look at him crazy as hell. Wife asks your wife to look at you crazy as hell. But all day you was obeying and doing what you had to do on that job or wherever you was at.
That's that Willie Lynch.
Where you feel like, you know what I mean, feel inferior to that white man.
That's that Willie Lynch. Let's call it what it is. They said we gonna have them Negroes eating out of our hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once we break them, you know what I mean? We're gonna have them eating out of our hand. And that's basically all you see, cause man, I hate reading some of these comments out here, man. It's like, damn, y'all love seeing the suffering, but then they'd be all fake when George Floyd and all that. They'd be fake as hell, but they only when the system tell you to feel some type of way about something, then they feel some way about something. You know what I'm saying? Cause George Floyd and all these other people, Trayvon's and all this stuff that they do.
Because a lot of people was saying Tory was guilty. And all them same people that was saying he guilty, never listen to his music again, don't ever buy nothing from this, and that. I hope he rot in jail. Now everybody's singing a different tune now. They singing a different tune.
Black folks love who the government want them to love, and hate who the government wants them to hate.
Yeah, and it's cancel culture. Yeah, why they ain't canceling Big Feet? They canceled Tory when they thought he did all that. Why they ain't canceling Big Feet?
Because the system is still, you know what I mean, supporting Megan.
Right. So I guess if they start putting reports out there on her, then that's when it's time to flip the script.
I don't care what anybody say. The black community is the most mind-controlled community on the planet. The black community in America is the most brainwashed and controlled community on the planet. There's no community on the planet that's more brainwashed than black Americans. I'm just gonna be real. So we hate who the system wants us to hate and love who the system wants us to love. Wholeheartedly.
You think it's through the propaganda?
Yeah. And we love seeing our own kind suffer. And that's what the establishment love. Because the establishment, they put the stuff in place, but they say, the niggers will do it themselves. You know what I mean? We put this there, put that there, and the niggers will voluntarily go and take themselves out and hate and use weapons against each other. Yep, take each other out. Yep. Let's just be real. I'm going to be real.
Them experiments was
be real.
Right, them experiments was done. Especially during the gang era. At the height of the gang era, that's where they did they most testing at. But they start dividing and shit and all that blood and crip shit, all that dividing. They did they most experiments with that.
They don't even have to target us as much anymore because we target each other. I mean, just look at the gang violence. Just look at the gang violence of how our gangs do each other. Like just look at the inner cities and show you like how much do they really have to target us anymore? We target ourselves. We hate ourselves. All them videos that be floating around watching these brothers gun each other down. Like we can't even say nothing. We can't talk about police violence against the black community when we see us gunning each other down. You know what I mean? Like nothing, like animals.
You notice there never no big march or protest for that. But it has to be done by white hands or white law enforcement for it to be a large worldwide protest.
Yep.
But you would think like parents would get together and be tired of their, children being gunned down. You would think the community would come together for that more than anything. But it has to be done by European hands, man. It has to be done by European law enforcement with European hands. But when it's done by black hands, nobody cares.
All right.
Nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody cares about that.
And you know how you know that we're the most programmed? Because just think about it. Black people when they got beef with another black person, bro, they go all out. Shooting, stabbings, all that. But let them have beef with the Fed. They scared of the feds. They won't do anything to the Fed. And we all say, oh, the government is targeting us.
Nah,
we quick to say the government is targeting us, right? We quick to say that the government is specifically targeting our community, right? But
you cut out. Then you cut out. Yeah, your audio cut out.
Of course it's gonna cut out. I'm talking about that. It was doing fine. My audio was doing fine.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, my audio was doing fine. Started talking about that. You realize that?
Right.
Just think about it. Like when it comes to a black person from, going against another black person in the black community in America. Oh man, it's all types of weapons and all types of this and that. But the people that we say is our biggest enemies, we cower and run in the corner.
Hey, they're not gonna do nothing against law enforcement, bro.
You see what I'm saying?
They would never do that. The people that wasn't afraid are the ones they gunned down.
And the crazy thing is, the feds right now ain't even black people's biggest threat. The biggest threat to black people is other black people.
Yeah.
Because when you locking your doors at night or locking your car up, or you walking strapped, you're not doing it because of the police or the government. You're doing it because you're scared of another nigga breaking into your house or breaking into your car or robbing you.
Yeah.
So that goes to show you something right there.
Niggas and flies. The more it be around niggas, the more be around niggas, the more I like flies.
They out there marching. They be out there marching, like you said. They be out there marching for George Floyd and Trayvon Martin and all that. But they ain't gonna be out there marching. Try to stop all the violence that's going on in our own community that we doing to each other.
Niggas and flies, man.
It got to be government sponsored. You realize all the white Democratic people was behind the Trayvon Martin and the George Floyd stuff. That's okay to go march about that because Massa told you to go march.
Massa told you.
Yeah, Massa tell you to go march. We're gonna go march.
I think because the media, when things happen like that, the media pushes that agenda even further when things of that nature, because that's the way to keep the minds of the masses separated, because it's just not only for black Americans, but they want to keep Black Americans and white Americans from uniting
Mm-hmm.
against who the real enemy is. So they have to spend trillions of dollars for the propaganda machine to keep running to keep us separated. That's the only way they can do it. The program has to continue. I mean, so, and it starts from young. The program is from young. Like you see even little experiments with like Black children with dolls. They say the Black doll is ugly, but the white doll, it looks better. You know, like they experiment from young, these testings from young, bro. From young age. You know what I mean? So they main thing is to keep the people separated at all causes. At every spectrum, everything got to be separated. That's the only way to be able to continue to fuck everybody at one time. Keep them separated.
And when they see us uniting, they stage something.
They stage something.
Every time they see Black folks and white folks uniting in a way, you know what I mean, of how we supposed to, the feds come and they stage something. All the time. All the time.
Yeah, because the real enemy is the money changers.
Mm.
Because they don't see black and white. That's not their thing is control humanity as much as possible. They ain't about the black and white stuff. So the black and white stuff is just like another ritual to them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like the checkerboard. I mean, like the chessboard. It's another ritual to them.
Checkerboard too.
Yeah, checkerboard too.
Yeah, both.
So that's the game. That's the game that's being played is the chessboard. Chessboard, checkerboard.
Yep.
That's the ritual being ran. So they dump a lot of their resources into that. That's like the most, prominent thing to the establishment is keeping everybody separated, not just in here in this country, but just keep everyone separated. Because the news we see over here, they don't get that same news over there. They told over there that American is this, and that. They're trained from a young age to hate America, but love America at the same time. To come here and and so now you see all these protests against ICE. They trying to kick the Mexicans out and all that. And I mean, what is San Francisco and San Diego and and San Andrea and what's all?
Yeah, they
what is all
out.
Yeah, what is all them? What is all
That's
those?
native.
Yeah, what is all those cities without Mexicans? I mean, it's literally named after Mexicans. That don't make sense. So we see what's done. They moving people around. That's what's happening. People is being moved around because it's a different agenda now. A lot of the human resources they was using, they don't need it because AI is replacing that. So I hear a lot of people saying, yeah, you mess with the Mexicans, you messing with the with the backbone of the country because they do a lot of the work that other lazy Americans won't do, and they do it for cheap labor. But you gotta realize they using AI to replace everybody. So they just replace a Mexican with an AI.
Yeah, it's all under construction right now still.
Yeah.
But as it's being under construction, they got to move people around.
They gotta move people around.
Yeah. And a lot of us, they want to get rid of us, so they up in the eugenics program of us bumping each other off, and they don't care if you're black or white when it comes to that, because they want to depopulate the planet anyway. They want less people on the planet because they figure when you got AI, you're going to need less people because that'll just be less work for the AI to monitor. They don't want to have to monitor 7 to 8 billion people anymore, and they've been doing a hell of a good job with eugenics in the black community. I tell you that. But the thing is, when it comes to melanated people, the melanated people is still the majority on the planet. That's one thing that they're not telling you.
That's an absolute fact.
That's one of the things that they. And we ain't saying that melanated people is more superior than. And we ain't coming from that type of. But it do seem like the establishment love to focus on melanated people. You know what I mean? When it comes to the eugenic stuff, and that's probably because, like we said, the melanated people are the majority on the planet.
Shit, they probably looking at melanated people like y'all can withstand that hot ass sun at a certain temperature. They looking at that shit like, man, these people can powered by the sun and shit. They can get things done. And I ain't just saying that just because, you know, but it's just a different thing. Like the people that's really tapped in knows what who is who on this planet. They know what genes are what, and they know what certain genes could be used for certain things. So they tell you, yeah, melanin is worth more than gold on the market. That's because it's a certain you know, I don't want to say ingredient, but you know, it's certain things melanin power here on the planet. Let's just say that. But I like I said, bro, their main objective is to keep people separated. Um, and this is always going to be a continual war to motherfuckers really wake up and see what's going on.
Hmm. And a lot of these celebrities are in danger. They in danger in
They scared.
2025.
See, I ain't even look at that bullshit as BET award.
Oh yeah,
A lot of
yeah.
a lot of them
I
folk
sent you
up
that
in there.
Kevin Hart shit.
You
That
did.
yeah, Kevin Hart was a lot of those celebrities was very uncomfortable with Kevin Hart talking about those Diddy parties indirectly like that because first of all, most of them in that crowd was at Diddy party. You know what I mean? Including Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was one of the main ones at them damn Diddy parties. He was there when the dildo was on the bed. He was there when the chick hair caught on fire. You know what I'm saying? Now the freak off things, we don't really know. That could have been secreted rooms with inside the parties, or it could have been not directly in the party, but you know, the after party, the inner party. You had an inner party. See, there's an outer party and there's an inner party. The inner party, that's when the Punisher is coming. You might F
I'm
around
listening.
run into the Punisher at the inner parties. F around have a shotgun. F around have a shotgun shaped like a dildo.
Yeah, I just listened to that drum. Kevin Hart.
Yeah, you know, yeah, you know, niggas was very uncomfortable sitting up in there at BET. Bro, we up there
I'm
talk.
seeing their faces. I'm looking at their faces
Right.
while he's saying the things, and people really wasn't laughing.
Nah, people wasn't laughing.
They like, it's not funny, Kev.
Not funny, Kev. They coming after us.
Kev, you might be next. You better shut up. They looking at
Exactly.
Kev.
He up there making
They up
jokes,
there.
right? He could easily
Kev
be next.
like, Kev, I think you better shut up, Kev. You might be next. That's how
Nigga,
they
he was
faces
almost
look.
next. You remember when he was cheating? You remember when he was out there cheating and niggas had the media really loved playing on that. Remember when they caught the nigga in the car with the chick?
Yeah.
That goes to show you, like, they take you down. And the thing is, that's how they get you. They start with something like that, then they start digging more into what you've been doing. They want to take you down. They'll find something to take you down about.
Yeah, I think I don't think anybody is clean at the top. I don't think anyone is in the position at the top is clean. I think they all have some type of dirt on them. They being as though they put themselves in certain positions where they leave themselves open for that too. Like, don't go to the party. Don't go. Don't go to certain
Don't go
events.
to
Don't
the
go.
party.
Like, it's easy for you to open yourself up to be, to be set up, because you everywhere. You everywhere where you shouldn't even be at. If you ain't getting paid to do a job for where you at, then going to them parties and trying to fraternize with people that's supposed to be your peers, that's how you get set up. You got niggas pulling out bowls of coke, hoes over there in the corner doing, like, you setting yourself up to be at that type of shit.
And a lot of them do it just so they could get the connection, so they could get more
Yeah,
opportunities.
yeah,
Especially if their career seem like it's not going anywhere, or if it's
yeah.
stagnant. They go to one of those parties, and it'd be people like Diddy there waiting to give them an opportunity. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I get you an opportunity, daddy. You know what I mean? Just meet me at that inner party.
that inner party.
Your F around had a Punisher waiting for your ass in the corner.
Because most people that's in that, the field is not really content. You have a few people that's content where they at, and they go, and where the level that they at. Somebody like Mike Epps, prime example. He good at the level he at because he know if he want to go any higher, he gonna have to get higher.
His ass gonna have to get higher.
Yeah, right. You got to tell P Diddy no. But it ain't just P Diddy. It's a lot of them execs that be up there. A lot of the movie directors and them execs and producers. They be the ones that be targeting these folks. That casting couch is real. So, like I said, Mike Epps is a prime example of somebody that's content where his career is at. He don't want to go no higher, because you know what you got to do to go higher. Cat Williams only went to a certain level Hollywood wise because he ain't want to go higher. He went up in there, he seen the directors at the table snorting coke and parties. He got niggas in rooms in there bumping and just doing, like, you really gotta wild out and get dirty. That's the thing. You gotta wild out and get dirty so they can have dirt on you.
Well, Cat was smart. He did it independently.
He did it the hard way, but it paid off at the end for him.
Yep.
It took him longer. Kevin Hart took his spot. Kevin Hart did it because of how Kevin Hart moved up so fast.
Right. I don't think Kevin Hart moved up fast. Kevin Hart was in the industry for a minute.
Nah, he was working hard. I mean, we know.
Yeah,
yeah,
I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that Kevin Hart moved up fast, because you gotta think about from the time Kevin Hart first started in the industry up until now. He was in there for a minute.
I mean, he did put the dress on, and the purple little dress with the.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sat on the white dude lap on his thing, and then kissed the rock in his mouth in the movie scene. Like, I mean, he paid. He did his due diligence when it came to because the producers, the same dudes that came to Dave and said, "Dave, I need you to put this dress on. We think it'll be funny." And Dave like, "Nah, I don't want to put the dress on." A lot of them said, "Yeah, I put it on. I kiss a man in the scene and this and that." It seemed like they be wanting to get, just any type of way they could get you to be in some uncompromising positions in a movie scene or something like that. That's basically saying you won't say no. So that's telling them you won't say no. They hate people that say no, because they think people that say no is difficult to work with, then nobody else want to do. So it's like a slew of people that just like to do these type of things. Put a nigga in the dress, make him kiss somebody in the scene, and shit like that.
But you realize in the entertainment, it's always been like that though.
Mm-hmm.
Like even in like ancient times when they was doing the entertainment, dudes was in dresses and all that type of stuff.
Well, yeah,
like
it wasn't
that's like the industry. Yeah. Like you gotta expect that when you go into that industry.
Yeah, because during those times they didn't allow women to act, so men had to play both parts.
And that never stopped though. Like that type of stuff never stopped, and that
Yeah,
didn't really
right.
have to do nothing with skin color. Even though
Nope.
it is emasculating to see a man in a dress and be kissing another dude in a movie scene, but let's just be real. It's always been like that in that type of business. Always. You can go all the way back to Rome in the Colosseum and you seeing shit like that.
Yeah, but you only seen that from a certain group of people. Because they only allow certain people to act. Niggas, they was just throwing them in gladiator shit. Yeah, they go out and fight a lion in an arena. Or
Yeah,
just
but they
doing,
didn't. Yeah, but they didn't look at
they ain't
race
look
like
at the
how we
same.
look
Nah, they
like
didn't.
how we look at it
Yeah, they
today.
damn sure didn't.
See,
Right.
that's another thing. Like a
Yeah, they
lot of
didn't
us
look
be
at
trying to
race.
take our modern mind and use it for the ancient mind. The ancient mindset was different than the modern
Yeah,
mindset
it,
when it
I-
comes
it
to
was,
nationalities and races and
yeah,
stuff
it was a
like that.
culture. Yeah, it was
They
more
didn't look
culture.
at black and white like how we look at it today. This is
Nah,
a new ritual that they pulled on us. This
yeah,
whole black and white shit,
yeah, they look more at culture. It was a culture.
or more, or what region you came
Yeah,
from.
region. And yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
you had some regions where people tend to be a bit darker from certain regions,
yeah,
and they was able to tell, oh, you must be from this region. But they didn't look at it how we
yeah. They
look
ain't look
at
at it.
black
We
and
got
white
right.
today.
Yeah, that's the new.
That's a new ritual, y'all. That's some new shit. That's what we trying to tell y'all. That black and white shit is psyop. The
So,
ancients didn't look at each other like that. And it was always a mixture of people, races on the planet. Always a mixture, you know what I'm saying? Of different melanated, different skin types and tones
yeah,
and all. That's
yeah,
always since the
yeah,
beginning.
that's true. Tone.
That's a new phenomenon.
hmm
And it just gotta come down to education.
Yeah, it was always light to darker tones.
Right.
Or darker to lighter tones, and everything in between. Yeah,
Facts.
it was always that way.
It was always that way. Right, and that many cultures had slaves. Facts. There
Yeah,
were
many
slaves
cultures
of
have
all
it.
different skin tones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just be real. Slaves are all there was peasants of all different skin tones. There was royalty of all different skin tones.
Yeah, that cat, not Cat Williams, Shannon Sharp, but that shit been kind of quiet lately.
Oh, right. The Shannon Sharp shit just disappeared.
And nah,
They just made sure he didn't get that. Nah, it disappeared enough to where he didn't get that contract. That's all it
Oh
was
yeah,
about.
that's all about. Right.
Yep, that's all it was about. Make sure make sure that nigga don't get that contract.
Damn.
You see that? You see how that works? It's crazy, bro.
Too much control.
Too much control. Everything's a trap. When you're a celebrity, everything is a trap.
But if you take $100 million, then you locked in contracts and you pretty much are controlled anyway.
That's true.
So maybe it's a blessing that you ain't get that contract, Shannon.
Shit, he ain't trying to hear that.
And they try to hear that shit.
He ain't trying to hear that. You what?
But I wanted.
Exactly. They niggas think about that lifestyle.
I wanted that 100 million.
Right.
Shit.
Think about that lifestyle. Nigga ain't trying to hear that. Talking about it's a blessing
Right.
I ain't get that contract.
Yeah, he wasn't. But he kept banging out young snow bunnies though. Like you.
Hey,
you know,
that's
like,
what he wanted. That's what that's his
They gonna-
flavor.
they
Well,
gonna
how
set
can
you
we
up.
not? How can we knock a person for preferences though? That's the nigga
Yeah,
preference.
but that preference gonna get him broke. They already want half of that.
Many
joint that he was about
preferences
to
is
get.
getting people broke.
They want a half of that 100 million that he was about to get.
I don't know, man. That's just another psyop I see, bro. And that's just
set up.
another psyop. I don't like that type of shit. I'm gonna be
Nope.
real.
Damn, bro. See,
And then
that's the
niggas,
thing.
they love seeing people being torn down like that. They love that.
Damn,
They
but-
love that. I don't know
Dang.
why one part of society think they could dictate other people's preferences, but their preferences shouldn't be dictated. Like it's just
Right.
too many double standards out here.
That's true.
A lot of hypocrites.
Damn, though, bro. Like, don't put yourself in a position where you gotta. Like, you gotta move. I guess you gotta move a little bit more careful out here.
If that didn't get them, something else would have.
Yeah. They would
Because
have made
everything is
something up.
weaponized, bro. Everything is weaponized against everybody. That's it. Not we sort of built this prison around ourselves of judgment and no compassion,
No compassion.
and a society of double standards, no compassion, and just straight everything is weaponized. Everything is weaponized around us, bro. There ain't shit around us that's not weaponized. And it's crazy we don't see it. And the thing is, you know, the psyop is so strong that we ain't gonna never see it. And we creating this whole world of suffering through all this shit. It's crazy. And you know what? It's gonna continue.
Yeah.
It's gonna continue until we wake up and be like, damn, we created this world of suffering from all this damn double standards, this hypocrisy, and not having compassion and all the rest. Well, the suffering is just going to continue. The suffering is going to continue.
Yo,
You're going to get more shit like Tory Lanez happening.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? You're going to get more and more people being, you know what I mean, judged for stuff that the people that's judging them do the same shit, maybe in a different type of way.
Right.
And that's all there is on this planet, I realize. It ain't shit else on this planet but that. And I realize that's what's causing most of the suffering on the planet.
Yeah.
All this hypocrisy and double standards and all this shit.
Right.
Bunch of people lying to themselves, trying to make themselves feel better by tearing the next person down. And like you said earlier, especially in the black community with the insecurities, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Not having enough resources in abundance, always in scarcity, always aggressive. It's all a psyop.
When you put a group of group of people around less resources, they tend to fight among what's given to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have the same mindset and the same skill levels that we had, that our great grandfathers, you know what I mean, had. So we kind of lost our way on that. So now it's more easier to control, because we lost a lot of the skill sets that we had, that our grandfathers had. So when you got to depend more on the system, that's the more you be controlled. So we don't have, so like I said, you put a population around less resources, you put them in areas where there's no resources, where they gotta scratch and fight to crawl out of that, they're gonna eat each other alive. That's just what's gonna happen. See, they did that experiment on us. They know that. They know that, bro. These experiments was done on tell you the truth, these experiments was done on a certain community of people before we even they even got to us on that type of level. So these experiments was conducted on us, and it seems like there's no progress. Only progress is given to us the illusion that through celebrities and black celebrities and entertainers, and they make you think you made it by them letting a few people, eat. But that's not the case. Just because a few celebrities made it and they're wealthy, that don't represent everybody. That's the thing, though. They be thinking that's supposed to represent the population, that, you know what I mean, like the community as a whole, because they let a few basketball players make it, few singers, actors, dancers.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they make everybody think that they can make it based off of, because they see a few people on TV make. That's not the case, though. You have to have real skill. Like, you have to have the mindset of unity, where you can create systems outside of a system that's making us depend on them 100%. Like I said, niggas don't know how to fish, hunt. You know what I mean? cut down tree. Like we lost all the skills that we had as as a community to build things like that. We lost all that shit, bro.
Not everybody, but a
Not
good
everybody,
percentage. Yeah, a
but it
good
ain't. But the
percentage.
thing is, the people that do know how to, it's no unity. First,
Right.
it got to be the mindset of let's come together and put all our skills together to build, build a whole a whole system. Where's the mindset?
There's still gonna be problems within that because the
Yep,
human ego, because
yep,
all that shit is cool to know, but it starts from the inside out.
yep.
It starts from the inside out, bro. That's what it always do. Because you can have skills and all that shit, but if
Yeah,
you're a rotten individual
it
in
ain't
your
gonna matter.
heart, it
Yep.
ain't gonna matter. And that's what the problem is. Because even the system that we got now, where people don't really know skills and depending on computer systems and AI and
Yeah, it's
depending on
technology. Right.
even that stuff could run good if the people's hearts was in the right place. Because it's all about intention on how you use these things. That's what it's really about. It's all about intentions. It don't matter what system is in place. It's about the hearts that's running that system.
Fact.
That's why people be arguing about different political systems and this system and that system. I'm like, none of that shit matter. What's the heart like?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the intentions? What are the intentions?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah. It don't matter what you put into the society. It's about what comes out of it. You could take any system. It don't matter what it is. Left, right. It don't matter what system it is. If the hearts are sincere and they really have compassion and care about their neighbor, that system could work. Because there's pros and cons to everything. It's just about how the intentions and how you use things. That's the bottom. It's just people's hearts is cold.
Yeah.
People, like you said, people's insecure, people's bitter. You know what I'm saying? People is always in lack, got a lack mindset. Because the system teaches us that there's scarcity when there's really not. There's really abundant of resources here. It's just that,
Always.
yeah, it's always been abundant resources here. Always been. It's enough for everybody to live comfortable and it's enough. It's enough, y'all.
And that one is a bunch of covered thy neighbors.
Greed.
Yep.
That's what it is. The system,
Coveted thy neighbors.
extreme scarcity creates greed.
Worrying about what the next person
Or
got.
the illusion of scarcity creates greed.
Mhm.
The illusion of scarcity creates greed. And we talk about scarcity in all aspects of life, not just material things.
I can't.
And also misery loves company. That's why a lot of people from our community hate to see successful people out of our community. We literally bash. We love seeing the destruction of people who's successful in our community. It's crazy to me.
It's brainwash. Brainwash.
Until we get to the root of that, we ain't gonna never get nowhere. It's just gonna be more suffering upon more suffering, and at the beginning, like, damn, some people must like suffering.
Yeah, it's like you don't love what you love for yourself. You know what I mean? What you love for love for your neighbor, what you want for yourself. Want for your neighbor as you want for yourself. But people don't want if you're a person that don't want to do good, then you don't want to see the next person do good.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So if you feel like, damn, I can't accomplish shit, I can't even get nothing done. I can't accomplish nothing. I can't create no business. I can't go to school. I can't. You know what I mean? If you're a person that sit around and defeat all damn day saying I can't, then
and those are the biggest haters.
Right. So how you gonna want for the next person if you're saying you can't all day? Say what you saying you can't do, you seeing the next person actually doing. So that's when you just turn into a hater. Because you sit around, I won't, I can't do, I won't do. But you seeing your neighbor doing what you saying you can't do, and they succeeding and making progress and actually became successful, you be ready to kill that person. That's
why a lot of celebrities, especially in our community, when they go back to their so-called hood, what happens to them in their hood?
Murdered.
Yep, murdered right in their own hood that they came out of.
You don't have a little chain on this.
And then they shame them. They shame the celebrities when they don't want to go back to those hoods because they know there's a bunch of haters there. And they say, look, you can't even come back here. They say that, oh, they throw that in their face. You can't even come back here. Yeah, they can't go back there because there's a bunch of haters back there.
A bunch of niggas
that want to kill them for their success. Like that. That always got me when they be like, oh, you can't even go back to your own hood and this and that.
Yeah, that's the setup. Don't fall victim to that.
Like I feel like government agents have corrupted our community so bad because a lot of them motherfuckers be the people who be running it. A lot of them have worked with be working with the government, bro. Like a lot of them be real CIA agents and shit, but be posing as gang leaders and shit like that. Yeah. You remember even on the bull from the nigga from New York, AZ, the one that they did paid in full about. He even said that the nigga Alpo was a government agent. He even said that nigga was and they sent him around taking everybody out because they was cleaning up evidence, shit that actually points back to the government involvement in that drug trade. So they have a nigga like Alpo take a whole bunch of people out and then snitch. But the nigga was an agent from the start. Like they do stuff like that, bro. That's how deep these government programs be going, bro. That's how deep they be.
Yeah, he said he believed that Alpo was an agent
from the beginning, bro. From the very beginning. From the very beginning, he was an agent. And that's highly believable.
Yeah, I think
that's very believable. That's how crazy that these psyops be going, bro. And they had these individuals influence a whole hood of people to commit these acts. And the thing is, the government know every crime that they committed because a lot of their agents be the ones that be committing the crimes and basically influencing other people from their neighborhood to commit those same crimes and form up a group. And they know people's going to join it because you're left with nothing. You left in the area with no resources. And then all of a sudden somebody come with resources, even though it's illegal, they come with a whole bunch of resources and say, you do this and that. You know what I mean? We'll put you down and you ain't got to worry about how your family going to eat. You ain't got to worry about this and worry about that. And the government is behind most of that shit, bro. They show us. They show us in movies and everything. TV series. They love bragging about this shit. They love bragging about it.
Ricky Ross.
Exactly. They love bragging about this shit, bro.
This connect was Blandone. Blandone was connected to the Iran Contras.
Yep.
With Oliver North was part of that operation.
Facts.
And they the ones that got the opium through. They got the
and that's global black operations. That's global black ops tied directly to motherfuckers from the hood that you wouldn't even think would be involved in any of that. Like you don't even realize how complex and how big this is. Like that's why we were saying that's why we connected these three together. Diddy, R. Kelly, and Tory Lanez. All that shit's connected because the industry is really ran by the intelligence agencies, like we've been telling y'all.
Oh shit! Intelligence agency been telling us.
Right.
Go to the website. Just go to the CIA website.
Yeah, they got a branch.
They show you Hollywood. Pentagon works with the. That's how they would put all directors. How they put all the war movies and stuff out, Transformers and all that. All that's on the list when you go to the CIA website where they work with Hollywood. A lot of those films is on the list. So they ain't nothing they hiding.
That's true.
They up front. They out in the open with it. But they know they bank on people not paying attention and not, researching and really, because it would take, because nobody gonna really do nothing about it anyway.
Nobody cares because everybody's in their own state of trying to survival.
Yeah. When you're in survival mode, right? It's kind of hard for you to really
focused on the big picture.
Focused on the big picture. Or that's why they have to keep us distracted with these small things.
Yep.
Yeah, because if you start focusing on what's really going on, and a lot of people start doing that, then it shifts. It kind of shifts the minds of the masses, and then a lot of these corporations won't exist anymore.
Nope.
Because they were like, all right, well, we're not buying into this. We're not buying what y'all selling, punk. We ain't buying what y'all selling, punk. And then the corporation be over, and they have to move on to something else. But it seems like these algorithms is how they. I'm telling you, bro, these algorithms is very important when it comes to them sectioning off certain minds of the people where they interest, whatever they interest in, is what's going to feed them. So if your interest is into just mindless stuff or things that things that really you ain't gonna really benefit off mentally, spiritually, and all, that's what they bank on. They bank on the people being controlled by the algorithms and what's being seen.
And they had the algorithms way before computers.
Yeah.
They've been using algorithms. Just on society, period. Algorithms has always been used.
Yeah, well, if you really think about how he had society sector off. Yeah, you had the Spanish community, you had the Chinese community here, Koreatown, you had the blacks over here, you had the whites over there, and then some up in the suburbs, you had the Thai community. Like there was always sectors. There was always sectors, bro. If you think about how this country was set up, well, the new America, I ain't gonna say but the new America, there's always been sectors, and that's how they able to control people with certain propaganda based off of the sector. So if you tell this group over here, yada 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 yada, and you go over here and you tell this group yada 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 yada, you go over to the next group and tell them a whole different yada 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 yada, then what you have? A separation of confusion. They were like, oh, these communities could never come together. They could never intertwine with each other.
Algorithms ain't necessarily a bad thing. It's about how it's being used.
How it's being used and how it's being controlled.
Yeah. And that boils down to everything.
Yeah, it haven't been doing this country it hasn't been doing us justice at all. It hasn't been doing us
justice is just a word right now, because we barely see justice anymore. Justice don't even really exist on planet Earth like that.
Right.
To be honest. That's why you can have somebody like Tory Lanez in jail, even though we know he didn't pull that trigger, and they lied on him. And not only that, he gets stabbed up in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the justice in that?
You think they're gonna let him out eventually?
I don't know, bro. They might not let him out alive. That's the thing.
I think dude missed though.
His life is in danger, bro. R. Kelly's life is in danger. Diddy's life is in danger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these celebrities, their lives are in danger, bro. Once you become a target to that system, your life is in danger.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And we seen how real it got. You see, they stabbed the dude up 17 times.
Damn.
His life is in danger, bro. We've been saying that. Stream after stream, we've been saying like this, you know what I mean, that we did about Tory Lanez. His life is still in danger, even though he's in prison. R. Kelly life is still in danger, even though he's in prison.
Right.
Diddy life is in danger, even though he's in prison.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And you got Megan Thee Stallion living it up out here. Her and Kelsey, free as a bird.
Ain't they?
Living the good life.
Good, ain't they?
Knowing damn well they lied and got that man locked up.
Facts.
There's no justice in the system. None. Zero. And he laying up there with stab wounds all over his body.
Facts.
In prison for something he ain't do. Like you said, Yabba Dabba Doo Flintstone feet stepped on that bottle.
Yeah, it was Yabba Dabba Doo feet.
Stepped on that damn bottle and said that he shot her in the foot.
Yep, it was Yabba Dabba Doo feet, bro. Yabba Dabba Dabba Doo feet. Flintstone
wild
feet.
Shit, y'all.
She I think she ain't gonna last much long anyway, because ain't nobody buying that weak ass music she putting out.
Nobody ain't buying shit out here like
Right,
that.
yeah. Right, so
nobody ain't buying music no more. People just streaming.
They just streaming.
Nobody ain't buying music. I don't even know why people keep talking about buying music. Nobody ain't buying shit.
They ain't buying what you selling.
They ain't buying nothing out here. They ain't buying no music out here.
And she ain't, well, whatever she's selling, they ain't gonna buy. Y'all just fucked it up.
You realize a lot of these celebrities, if they not being taken out, like, you know, their image and all that, they get taken out just by their careers dying out. You know, just think about all the niggas that was hot a couple years ago. Now you can barely find them. They ain't doing nothing.
Oh yeah, the machine.
They barely eating.
Yeah, the machine pumping manufacturing fame
Facts.
at a faster rate.
Just think about a little nigga like Tekashi, where he at? You don't hear nothing from before he had the whole internet jumping. You know what I'm saying? Not getting numbers like crazy. Now where he at? Nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Niggas like the Baby and Bobby Schmurders and all them type niggas.
Yeah, it's a new era. They pretty much they kind of pretty much they fired and died out.
They had to put Drake in a beef order to keep his name hot, and that shit still ain't work.
Yeah, it ain't work. It pretty much
people's losing interest. People's losing interest, so they sacrifice these celebrities just to keep people interested, because they realizing that people's not really interested in the art anymore. They more interested in the shit that's going on with them behind the scenes.
Yeah, all the mess.
Yeah, so they do whatever they could do to keep people distracted, even if that means destroying these celebrities in front of everybody, just to keep people interest there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody don't give a shit about people music no more like that. People don't give a shit about the new movie they in. They want to know the ins and out, what happened behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know the tea. People want to know the tea. They don't give a shit about. They don't give a shit about the art no more.
Yeah, that pretty much that flame pretty much went out.
Yeah.
Now you seeing Timberland start trying to work with an AI artist, working with an AI artist. They want to put artificial intelligent artists out
because they want us to be artificial intelligence.
You could produce a whole damn album in a damn day.
It's this whole transhumanism
he
movement
catch a
where they
lot
want
of
to
back.
turn us all into robots.
He did get a lot of resistance on that, as far as like. So I don't think everybody completely 100% ready for that yet. But they testing. They still beta
Bro, there's a
test.
lot of people in the industry that hate that AI shit and they just can't say nothing about it. And some people are.
Yeah.
Because they realize that AI shit is going to replace them. And the
Yup.
people is going to accept it because the people is accepting AI now.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's about what the general public will accept. And what will keep the general public in line. See, the establishment will do anything to keep the general public in line. Even if they have to sacrifice some of their own to do that, that's what they do. And that's where you get these R. Kellys and these Diddy's and these Tory Lanez. They sacrifice all these niggas. That Weinsteins and the Epstein. They sacrifice all of them. You know what I mean? To keep the people interested in whatever they want to have the people interested in. Because like we said, people's more interested in that type of shit than they are the actual talents that these niggas got. People
Hold
was
on.
more interested in the case that behind R. Kelly than R. Kelly's music at this point.
So that I Admitted album that put out, that was an R. Kelly
AI.
or AI joint that they that threw out there. They said it was R. Kelly album. And
He said it wasn't.
he
He
said
didn't do
that
that. Yeah.
wasn't. Yeah, he said I didn't sing none of them songs. I think he will remember if he sung any of those songs. R. Kelly said I didn't. And he said, why would I put out an album? Said I admit it.
That's his government psyop right there.
That's crazy. So they basically put out a AI album of R. Kelly. People really thought it was R. Kelly because the AI sound just like him. So they was able to actually take his voice, train the AI to sing just like him.
You can't even tell the difference nowadays between AI and the real
Nope.
shit.
Nope.
AI stuff is getting out of hand. It's gonna get out of hand like everything else. But yeah, we entering into a crazy era, bro.
So they trying to put out some dead artists albums using artificial intelligence, like a Aaliyah album, artificial intelligence, shit like that.
And just think about how dangerous this AI shit is. They could take the celebrity out and just use the celebrity's whole family and got everybody thinking that the celebrity is still alive because they just using AI. And in order to fake public appearances, they could have a nigga with those realistic masks on. So you wouldn't even know.
Or they just say, because the dead artist would make more money, right? So they just say this is unreleased music that the artist
that too
had in the vault that they never put out.
Many ways to skin a cat when it comes to this AI shit.
Because with the artist being dead, that helps them make more money for ourselves when it comes to albums. So them faking the death is not that's going to turn people off. They make more money with the artist being dead and them making AI songs is just saying it's unreleased music that the artist had in the vault. Same thing like with Timberland doing with Aaliyah's. Suppose Aaliyah's old vocals and shit.
Nah, they can make a lot of money by having a celebrity killing off the celebrity and then because you gotta think about it. That means they don't have to pay the celebrity no more.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like
both ways. They use both ways, bro. They do both things. They do
talking about they do like a Coachella where they just simulate the artist again.
Yep, to simulate the artist. Yep, it could be a nigga with a
bat. Or they just do the Tupac shit. What they did with Eazy-E, Tupac. They just do the the shit they did with the Coachella shit. they
Yeah,
just
we
do
realize
self.
how controlled and how manipulated everything is. We wouldn't support none of this shit. Right, Black Mirror, right. We realize how controlled and manipulated this stuff was. We wouldn't support none of it, man. Yeah, Black Mirror is definitely showing us what they could do with that AI. That episode with Selma Hayek is crazy.
Now, if the people that agreed to, sell off their catalog based on selling it to the artificial intelligence, then that's just them. They had all right to do that. If you know what I mean, if they want to make a, 1,000 Biggie albums based off the artificial intelligence, they got all right to do it because his family sold his likeness, his image, his catalog to the, to the company.
Yeah, that episode on Black Mirror called "Joan is Awful" is crazy. That goes to show you what they can do with AI
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
have to check that
where
out.
they plan on taking it.
I'm gonna have to watch that, check that out.
Yeah, that goes to show you how real it's getting out here with that. And it goes to show you they really ain't going to need these celebrities like that. Once they get into that level, they're not going to need these. Only thing they're going to need is their image. Once they have their image, that's it. Once they own their image, they ain't gonna need the actual celebrity no more. They could just buy out the celebrity. Just buy them out. They give them one big check and be like, "Yep, now we can just use your image. We ain't gonna need you at all ever again."
Yep. Catalog, none of that.
And if they want a celebrity bad enough and the celebrity don't want to sell their image, they gonna try to get it in other ways. You know what I'm saying? When we say other ways, just look at the title of this video we doing now. You know what I'm saying? Look at these 3 blind mice that's up on the screen now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, eventually these niggas had to know the industry was gonna turn on them eventually.
Yeah, they probably ain't really think about it.
Nah, R. Kelly definitely thought about it. And Tory Lanez thought about it when he cracked the code. Diddy might be the one that probably was, thinking he was always going, you know what I'm saying? Like they was always going to be on his side.
He's a little naive.
Yeah, he was naive. He thought he was too big to fall. And they proved him wrong. I'm like, nigga, if they were going to take Bill Cosby down and Michael Jackson, what makes you think you exempt? And if they wanted to, they'd take Oprah's ass down too. If they wanted to.
Yeah. They want, Oprah might be coming down.
I don't know. Tell you the truth. The establishment pretty seem like they love Oprah. Just saying. You don't see nothing but good things about even like the little supermarket tabloids be saying good things about Oprah. That's how crazy.
But now until the media start doing their propaganda, start bringing up her past and dirt and whatever else they gonna start, bringing up about her.
But what would be the reason for them to do that to her when she never tells them no?
I don't think it's about just telling no. I don't think it's just about that. You know too much.
Yeah, but she ain't gonna never turn her back on them, the ones that's feeding her.
Shit, they don't know that.
I don't know. She's pretty up there in age to be doing that at that age. But then again, they did go after Smokey's ass.
Yeah,
they did go after Smokey's ass and Bill, right?
Yeah,
right.
Like, what old?
Right.
Like old.
They old as shit, right?
Shit, they ain't looking at them niggas' age.
Smokey, that's surprising.
Yeah, that's
all that shit seemed made up. I'm gonna be real with you.
Mm-hmm.
That Smokey situation seems real made up. I can't take it serious.
Smokey. Damn. I ain't you ain't know. But the thing about it, you be surprised who's on their list, who's on their hit list. Like we ain't really expect Smokey to be on their hit list.
That means he ain't want to give up that
Oh,
catalog.
you ain't trying to sell none of the Motown catalog, huh? Hmm. You ain't trying to sell you ain't trying to sell your catalog, huh, Smokey?
Bro, they going at Smokey, bro. This
Yeah.
shit. We can't take this shit serious.
Where Barry Gordy at?
They going at the Smokey, bro. Old ass Smokey.
Where Barry Gordy at?
And you see them lawyers, they just be opportunists. They vultures.
Penton Dames.
Hinton Dames. What do they want? They be hanging over those celebrities' backs like a vulture.
Yeah, they'll find some dirt on Oprah to bring up. They bring that school up.
They bring that school up.
Yeah,
Some Hawaiian shit.
They probably got some other shit on it. And I don't think you could be that high up and they don't have some type of dirt on it. Because they're like, all right, you around a bunch of dirty mud effers. How we know you won't flip? It's like, all right, we need some dirt on this person.
Well, they tied into like a brotherhood, sisterhood. They have to have dirt on each other.
Yeah, they have to have dirt.
It's like if I go down, you go down type of ordeal.
Motherfuckers don't get one show. If I go down, you go down. But Nino said, if I go down, I'm taking a whole lot of people with me.
Exactly. Like, how could they take someone down like Epstein without getting themselves in trouble? That's why they had to take him out. Because he had too much dirt on the people.
Way too much.
Yeah, he had too much dirt on the people who he was, you know what I mean? Who was trying to take him out. So they like, we can't let him live.
What about
some people saying they think that he's still alive? I don't think that he's still alive. I think they took Epstein out.
Hey, if he is alive,
they took him out.
He's somewhere on the island chilling.
Because just think about it. Why would they arrest him and let him go to jail? Obviously, there's different factions out there that's warring at the top. Because why would he even go to jail knowing that he got dirt on everybody?
But they not only that, bro. You leaving.
Why would they lock him up and expose all that just to let him go?
You leaving out a very, very important portion of that with Epstein.
What?
Don't forget he was Mossad, bro.
Yeah, that's the point that I'm making, though.
Yeah, he was Mossad. So he was actual a Mossad agent.
Why would they let him go to jail in the first place and then make it public in the first place, knowing he got dirt on everybody?
Sacrifice for the other people that's in line. Don't get out of line or you won't end up like Epstein.
That only tells me that there's a faction split somewhere up top.
It's always a war at the top.
There's a faction split, and he wasn't really supposed to go to jail, but now that he was in jail and everything was public, they had to take him out because he knew too much, and too much could get exposed, and too many people could get exposed.
But that's crazy though, because they tying him in with showing puffy combs.
But why would they arrest him and keep him alive though? Like, why would they arrest him just to let him just to sneak him out the back? Like, what would be the point of that? Why make his shit public? Make all that stuff he did public, throw him in prison just to sneak him out the back? Why put him in prison in the first place? That's why I don't think he's alive. Why lock him up Why get? Because he was off most people's radar. Most people ain't know nothing about no Epstein until it came out in the media. The average Joe Schmo ain't know shit about no Epstein until it came out in the media. So why even make him public
But the thing about
in the first place?
even if they knew Epstein was all that stuff wasn't out there about him. Yeah.
Exactly. So why do that? Arrest him,
and
then secretly sneak him out the back of the prison and say that he killed himself. Like, why would you do that?
It's
that don't make no sense.
He was he just got figured out, man, and he was doing a lot of stuff that probably going against, you know, a lot of things that he was operated to do. He was probably doing some things operating outside of that, and I mean, you were being an agent, you're not allowed to operate outside of, you know, the operation. And I feel like he was doing some things that he shouldn't have been doing for the people that he had to answer to, and they said enough is enough.
That's why he's dead. That's called a burn. That's called a burn notice. For those of y'all who don't know, when one of the agents, CIA or Mossad, whoever intelligence agent, get ousted, it's called a burn notice. And once you get a burn notice, you can go to jail, but usually you get killed because you know too much information. Yeah. That's why I don't think he's alive. That's why I think they killed him, because he got something called a burn notice, because he did something that he wasn't supposed to do, even within that circus that they in, got the burn notice. They put him in prison because a burn notice is, you know what I'm saying, that stuff usually do get leaked public when an agent gets a burn notice, and they throw him in prison, but they don't want to keep them alive just in case they start talking too much, because they know too much information about very powerful people. So they kill him and make it look like they committed suicide. That's why I don't think he's alive, y'all. He got a burn notice. He ain't alive.
Now they will give an agent another mission, as far as like changing his identity, who he is, might going to get surgery, shit like that, and they might put him on a different mission. You know what I mean, we've seen them do that shit in the past. We've heard, you know, things come out about agents getting surgery and going into getting put on other different missions.
But they not going to expose him to the world when he wasn't already exposed, just to do all that. That don't make no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
They do shit like that. Yeah, they do shit like that. They do shit like that for agents who's known inside those sectors already. You know, to the bad guys and to, you know, I can't even say bad guys. That's even law. You don't know who's bad and who's good. It's just, that don't even matter no more. And then when you get deep into those circles, you know what I'm saying? But when he's known in that sector already, they can change his identity then. But when it comes to exposing him to the whole world, why would they expose him to the whole world when they don't have to, if he's one of their secret agents? That means he got a burn notice. That means he did something that actually ousted him out of the agency. And once you get ousted out of those type of agencies, being at the level he was at, they're not going to let you live. They can't let you live. No way. And he probably got a burn notice from an agency, another agency that was probably in war with another, because they war against each other too. Sometimes they have disagreements and they do shit. That's how he probably got caught up in the media in the first place. Like I said, it was a split at the top. Nigga ended up making a mistake, got the burn notice. You know what I mean? The other faction ended up making his stuff public. And that's how we all know about it. Threw him in jail. They like, and the faction that he came from, that he got the burn notice from, was like, we can't let this guy stay alive because he knows too much of our secrets.
Yeah, I mean, he know who was messing with children, everything.
Exactly.
Like, he know what important officials and lawyers and judges and presidents and high-level politicians, leaders of other countries. He know who was fondling with the children, bro. They ain't want none of that to get out. Not only that, it's like a lot of other things he was doing. They didn't want that to get out. And I'm sure he had secret recorders and shit on tape. so he could use it to blackmail people. That's the
Right.
name of their game anyway, to get you in an uncompromising position so they could use it to blackmail you.
Right.
So if you an official and you at a certain position where you can open the door up and you got some dirt on you, then you're not gonna go against the person that got dirt on you. Prime example, I was just watching The Godfather where the state senator, where he basically didn't want to apply to to whatever demand that Al Pacino was asking for. But guess what? Later on, he got found in an uncompromised position, a dead whore laying in the bed. He was passed out. He woke up. He didn't know how the dead whore got there. So what they do? They're the owners of the hotel. Godfather, the owner of the hotel. So now you got a senator in there that didn't want to play ball, but guess what? Now he got to play ball because you got him in an uncompromised position. What are you gonna do? You got caught with a dead hooker. Now look. So you think they don't be getting these politicians and these people in uncompromised positions so they could use it against them? That's the name of the game. When you playing at that high level, that's the name of the game for them. Oh, we can get this guy now. We can make this guy do whatever we want now.
Well, that was Epstein, according to the documents that was put out there. That was Epstein's job to get people in compromising positions.
Get them on that island. Get them on his island and get them in uncompromising positions where they could have dirt that used against them to make them do what they want to do.
Right.
They want them to do.
Yeah, that's what he did. That was what he did as an agent. That was his job as an agent.
And the thing again, he probably did hung himself though, because in the position that he was in, being as though he already knew he was already dead anyway. He was already marked. He was already outed. You know what I mean? He's going, he might just kill himself. Same thing happened with Frank at the end when they sent the lawyer in for Godfather, remember? And the dude, he slit his wrist and was laying in a tub of blood, took his own. So they will take their own life when they know there's nothing left for them to do but to end up like that.
Yeah, because you get a burn notice, right?
Yeah, it's like
you might as well just end your life.
Yeah, they tell you just take your life. You end yourself.
Because some of them, they used to have a cyanide tooth, where they have a tooth that they bite down on it and kill them.
Yeah.
Like they actually have a poison tooth in their mouth, and they activate it and they actually bite down on it and they just die right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, they was doing that at one point.
So I tend to believe Epstein did hang himself in himself, because I didn't really think about it until I really had to sit back and really contemplate. Like, hold on, Epstein, he didn't have nothing else to do but to end up like doing that.
That's true.
Because if he wasn't going to snitch and he was in that position, he wasn't going to tell, because he just going to end his life. He probably was authorized. They probably told him he might as well just go ahead and end his life. Or that was probably the mission anyway. Like, all right, you got caught, you got prosecuted,
But this is my question: how do a person like that get caught when the people who's supposed to be catching them, he's the people that's supposed to be catching people like him? Think about it.
I mean,
we're not supposed to know that he's there to set up politicians and entertainers and stuff to have dirt on them. We supposed to be looking at him. If he is an agent, we supposed to be looking at him like, oh, he's a good guy going after terrorists and all this type of stuff.
Well, it comes
on record. On record, that's what he's supposed to be doing. So who's there to lock him up?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the questions we need to be answered. Who is there even powerful enough to even lock him up when he was working for the most powerful people in the world? And he's supposed to be the one that's there. These agencies are supposed to be the ones that be preventing stuff like this.
Yeah, but you have rogue agents as well that go rogue.
I feel like the whole damn agencies are already rogue.
Yeah, that too. But you
Like, what the fuck? Like,
I mean,
this shit's been rogue.
I mean, if you a
Or a rogue within inside of a rogue.
yeah, I mean, if you're an organization and you got somebody that's breaking the rules, then you gonna get taken out. That's just how it go. If you doing something that's against the rules, maybe he was doing things and blackmailing people where he ain't have authorization to do. Like
That's
you
how
could
he got
use
the
that.
burn notice.
Yeah, you could use that. Like you can use that power even against people that you're not even authorized to go at.
Use it against facts. That's how you get the burn notice. Yeah, that's the only way nigga go rogue is by doing that, right? And that's what I think happened. That's when I say sometimes it's a war between the factions at the top. I think that's what probably happened. Like, and he probably was just doing that to protect himself. Cause you got to look at it from his standpoint. He wouldn't have something out there to even protect himself from them.
Right.
Cause none of them really trust each other. There ain't no trust in that type of world. Man, them intelligence agencies ain't nothing but organized crime, bro. They're no different than the people that they trying to take down or the people that they control. They're no different. They're actually just as bad as the people that they got the propaganda against the cartels and the mafias and these intelligence agencies are just as corrupt or even more corrupt, bro.
I believe so.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, just with this Diddy case alone, you can see the feds work within this. Like even with the prosecution, illegally raiding his cell and doing things that's off the books.
Right.
I ain't even understand why he couldn't get a dismissal based off the fact they did something illegal anyway. But somebody want him so bad that even like it's crazy, bro. Somebody want him out the way extremely bad. By any means necessary.
Diageo.
CIAO. The Fedios.
I mean, you know, people pretty much know everything is corrupt like that. Nobody's really going to do anything about it, though, or feel like they can. Or some people will just write it off as, oh, just a conspiracy theory. It's just in their own world. And just accept the surface level bull crap that comes out about it. You know, the little stuff that they feed the public, the little freak off information and all that. But you realize they ain't talking about the real stuff that he could have had done. Alleged that, you know what I'm saying, that people was saying that he was doing, like they said, flying minors here and there to do stuff and all this. They ain't bring none of that up at court. This trial, we haven't heard none of that yet.
Nope. We ain't hear none of that.
That's why I feel like they ain't really. That's why I feel like if they do convict him on something, it's gonna be similar to the R. Kelly shit.
Yep. Yeah. We haven't heard. Yeah. If Diddy if he gets convicted based off of because they really want him on that RICO shit.
Man, that's what's going. Damn RICO.
RICO how? That's what they want him on, because that's gonna get him that 30 years R. Kelly got. You know what I mean? The RICO shit is what they want him on.
Nigga, what's the RICO that they had? What's the RICO against Diddy? What would that look like? What is it?
They basically saying he used Bad Boy Enterprises as an organization to do sex crimes.
All right, so who else was in the organization? Because in order to have an organization, there have to be multiple people involved.
Some of them that was on that damn witness stand, those assistants, and whoever else was stabbed on that. Yeah, that's why I think it's so BS, because if it's RICO, then you'll be you'll be arresting everybody at Bad Boy Enterprises.
Fact. Somebody have to get something.
Everybody at Bad Boy Enterprises to be in handcuffs. Why isn't everybody at Bad Boy Enterprises in handcuffs? If he,
Because Diddy did it.
Yeah, they saying Diddy basically acted. Basically, they trying to say he acted alone. And he commanded all these people to basically do, you know, get him drugs, get him sex.
Yeah, but you
sex
can't.
workers
You
and
commanding people to do something illegal. That don't
he's saying
excuse the fact that these people volunteered to do something illegal.
They basically saying all the funds that he was using was from Bad Boy Enterprises. That's basically what they saying. That's what it is. So they saying that's RICO for him to be able to use company funds to fund you know, the drugs, the sex workers, and whatever else. They, you know, he into whatever. They saying that's RICO. He's not allowed to use company funds because, you know, now he's considered as a crime organization.
Nah, it can't be one person as a crime organization. That's the that's the part right there that's not connecting.
Exactly.
But you know what is connecting? Night and Day Herbals.
Yeah,
That's
definitely hit us
connecting. Y'all
up.
head over there, man. Definitely support Night and Day Herbals. We got the 40% off right now. When you spend $40, use code 40. What is it? 40 use? What? ND Fathers 40. That's our Father's Day discount. Get 40% off. It's ND Fathers 40. You know, we got the CBD on deck. We got the sea moss on deck. Natural hair care, skincare products. NightandDayHerbals.com, man. We definitely appreciate everybody who's been supporting us. You know what I'm saying? We man, we put 2-hour mark.
I believe
2-hour mark. Yep. Yeah, we definitely appreciate y'all. We about to get up out of here though.
Yeah, man. We'll catch y'all on the next live stream. And on that note, peace out. NightandDayHerbals.com.
Shop now at NightandDayHerbals.com and enjoy 35% off all our herbal CBD products. Automatically applied at checkout.